Welcome back, everybody. We're diving into a topic that might surprise you. It's all about wells in the Bible.
Wells, huh?
Yep, we're going deep on this one.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
So we'll be using this text called Nuvolo X, Puis A4. And it goes way beyond, just like the practical stuff.
Right.
Like how to dig a well and all that. It's all about the spiritual side, the symbolism.
Okay, yeah.
And, I was reading through it, and it's amazing how these wells represent all sorts of things, divine encounters,
Oh, wow.
family legacies,
Yeah.
even like confrontations with, darker forces.
Oh, that's interesting.
So get ready to uncover what your own well might be. Pretty cool, huh?
I like where this is going already.
All right, so first off, what struck you about wells in the Bible?
Well, I think the thing that gets me is that there's so much more than just water sources. They're like these crossroads,
Okay.
like where the physical world meets the spiritual.
I see what you mean.
People need water, obviously, so they go to wells.
Sure.
But then, bam, they encounter something way deeper, almost like a gateway opens up or something.
Yeah.
A different dimension.
It's interesting how the text brings up Rebecca meeting Isaac's servant at the well in Genesis 24.
Oh, yeah. Classic story.
For those who need a quick recap, Rebecca's this young woman at the well,
Right.
and Abraham's servant shows up.
Looking for a wife for Isaac.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that meeting, that's where it all began, their marriage.
Which led to, well, everything. The whole Israelite nation, really.
Talk about a fateful encounter.
Yeah. And all because of a well.
Exactly. But it's not only about, those romantic encounters either.
Oh, good point.
Remember Jacob wrestling with God at Peniel?
Peniel meaning face of God?
Yep, in Genesis 32. It all happened near a well. So again, you have this physical need for water,
Right.
but then it ties into a much deeper spiritual struggle.
I'm seeing a pattern here.
Yeah, me too. It's like the well creates this space for these pivotal encounters,
Totally.
where the human and the divine kind of collide.
Yeah.
It makes me think of Jesus and the Samaritan woman at the well in John 4.
Oh, that's a good one.
Everyone knows the story, but it's interesting why Jesus chose to meet her there.
I see what you're getting at.
He could have been anywhere,
Right.
but he picks, or even each person could have their own well.
Ooh. Okay, tell me more.
I think that's where this text gets really exciting. Like, it suggests that we each have something special to offer. A
Okay.
unique strength, purpose, like a wellspring of potential within us.
Okay. I'm with you.
Not a literal well anymore, obviously it's more metaphorical.
I got it.
But the text gives examples from the Bible, like in Genesis 4:49, Deuteronomy 33.
Okay.
These different tribes of Israel, they're described as having specific wells.
Oh, interesting.
Almost like these wells represent their unique calling or their contribution to the nation.
Okay, that's fascinating. So, like, what made them them? What set them apart?
Right. And it's not just about material wealth or power either.
Right.
It's about the unique gifts that defined each tribe.
Like their special sauce.
Yeah, exactly. For instance, the tribe of Levi, their well was the priesthood.
Their priesthood, huh?
And, they were scattered among the other tribes.
Oh, yeah, that was seen as a curse, right?
But their well, it actually transformed that curse.
Into their unique role as spiritual leader.
Exactly. Then there's Judah, the tribe known for, leadership and kingship.
Yeah, King David came from Judah, and ultimately Jesus, too.
It makes you wonder what set them apart,
Yeah, what was so special about their well?
what made them such powerful leaders.
That's a good question. The text also talks about Issachar,
Oh, yeah. Issachar.
known for something completely
It's
different.
totally different.
Spiritual discernment.
Oh, right. Like they understood the times and seasons.
Yeah, almost like the wise counselors.
Or the strategist. Each tribe had its own unique thing, right?
Exactly.
Their own way to, draw from that collective well and bless the nation.
Right.
Okay, and then there's Joseph. His story is just overflowing with blessings.
Oh, yeah, Joseph, what a story.
Talk about overcoming adversity.
Seriously. From betrayed by his brothers to second in command in Egypt.
What do you think his well represents?
I think for Joseph, it's about resilience.
Resilience, yeah.
And forgiveness, ultimately. Like, his well symbolizes those multifaceted blessings,
Okay, yeah.
Material prosperity, leadership, and then that reconciliation with his family.
It's like even when things are really tough,
Yeah.
there's still that possibility for redemption, for restoration.
I like that.
And it's not just about outward success, right?
Yeah, not at all.
It's about those unique gifts, what we each bring to the world.
Exactly.
Which brings us back to, discovering our own wells.
Right.
What are we good at? What makes us a source of blessing?
Those are the questions.
Big questions. But the text also says it's not always easy, this journey.
Oh, of course not. There will be bumps in the road.
Sometimes finding your well means facing obstacles.
Yeah, and sometimes opposition.
And that's where Isaac's story in Genesis 26 comes in.
Oh, yeah. Isaac, he had his fair share of challenges.
It's not enough to just discover your well.
Right, you got to protect it.
Fight for it, even when things get tough.
Exactly.
And Isaac dug not just one well, but several.
Interesting.
Each one tells a different part of his story.
Like chapters in a book.
Yeah. So the
Okay.
first well he digs, it's called Isaac,
Isaac.
which means quarrel.
Quarrel. Oh, I see where this is going.
It represents those conflicts, the opposition we face.
Right, like when people envy our blessings.
So are you saying that sometimes when we start stepping into our purpose,
Yeah,
others might feel threatened, try to hold us back?
it happens.
Wow.
And think about it. Isaac's opposition, it came from people he knew.
Oh, interesting. Not strangers.
People he had tried to help even.
So it can be the people closest to us.
Sometimes, yeah, it's like a reminder to be careful who we share our well with.
Yeah, who we let in, who has access to that vulnerable part of ourselves.
Makes sense. But Isaac, he doesn't give up.
He keeps digging.
He does. And the next, well, it's called Sitna,
Sitna.
which means accusation.
Accusation. That sounds even darker.
It is, the text connects this to like spiritual attacks.
Whoa. So this isn't just about difficult people. It's about a spiritual battle
Yeah, like a fight for who you are.
for what you're meant to do.
Exactly.
That's intense.
It's real, though. A lot of people struggle with this.
Even if we don't always talk about it.
Right. Sometimes those obstacles, they're internal, you know?
Fear, self-doubt, all that.
It can be crippling.
So how do we fight back?
How do we keep digging when everything feels against us?
Yeah, it's got to be discouraging.
It is, but look at Isaac. He perseveres.
He doesn't give up.
He keeps going, and finally he reaches Rehoboth,
Rehoboth.
which means wide spaces.
White spaces. Oh, I like that.
It's not just relief, it's abundance.
Okay.
Overflowing blessings, peace.
So even after conflict, accusation, he reaches this breakthrough.
Expansion, exactly.
What's the takeaway, do you think?
That the path to your, well, might not be easy.
There will be challenges.
Discouragement, opposition, maybe even spiritual attacks.
But if we keep going,
if we don't give up,
if we keep digging,
we'll reach that breakthrough
where our well can truly flow.
and bless others.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
And then there's the most significant well in Isaac's story,
Oh.
Beersheba.
Beersheba, the well of the oath.
Right. This is where he makes a covenant with Abimelech.
The king who had driven him away.
Exactly. Talk about a turning point.
It's not just a truce, it's a lasting covenant.
Based on mutual respect.
Recognition, yeah.
A shift from conflict to cooperation.
To shared blessings.
It's deeper than just a political agreement, isn't it?
Much deeper.
It's about transforming relationships.
Moving towards unity, towards peace.
And this peace, it comes after so much struggle.
After separation.
It's not something Isaac does alone.
No, God speaks to Abimelech in a dream.
Oh, wow.
Reveals Isaac's true identity.
Are you saying that sometimes our wells, they're revealed not just through our efforts,
Interesting.
but through something beyond ourselves,
Like a divine hand guiding us.
leading us to the right people, the right places?
Yeah. I like that idea. And look at Beersheba. 3 key elements led to its discovery.
Okay, what are they?
First, Isaac built an altar, acknowledging God's blessings.
Right, so it's recognizing that our well is a gift.
But we also have a part to play.
Okay.
Second, he dug the well. Action is important.
So it's faith and works.
Yeah, exactly.
We have to put in the effort.
And third, the peace agreement itself.
Oh, right.
He chooses to forgive, to build a bridge.
And that reminds me of the covenant God makes with us.
Through Jesus.
Abimelech represents authority, kingship,
Like Jesus, the ultimate king.
and following Jesus, it requires that same trust.
That's surrender.
So are we willing to surrender our own ambitions?
To align with God's purpose.
Are we ready to dig deep?
To face those challenges, embrace the breakthroughs.
To find our own Beersheba?
Our own well of lasting peace and blessing.
You know, it's wild to think about these ancient well stories and how they still resonate today.
It's true, we might not be out there literally bigging, but that search for our own wells, those sources of strength.
That purpose.
Yeah, the blessing that makes us feel alive, it's universal.
Like a human thing, right?
Totally, this yearning for something deeper.
Something that gives life meaning.
Sustainability, yeah. And the text reminds us it's not just about finding our own well.
It's about sharing it, right?
Exactly. It's meant to overflow, to bless others.
Not just sitting by the well and enjoying it ourselves.
Nope. We got to let that water flow out, nourish the world around us.
Like, think about those who found their wells in the Bible.
Abraham, Isaac, Jacob.
Their stories are still impacting us.
Thousands of years later,
And they didn't hoard those blessings.
they used them to build families, nations, changed history even.
And what's interesting is their impact, it wasn't always immediate.
It unfolded over generations.
Wow, that's powerful. Like, the wells we dig today
Yeah.
might not reach their full potential in our lifetime.
We're planting seeds.
Seeds that could take years to blossom.
Even decades.
What legacy will our wells leave behind?
What impact will our lives have?
Big questions to consider.
They challenge us to think bigger than ourselves,
To see how our actions ripple out.
affecting generations to come, you know?
Yeah, this deep dive into wells,
It's been more than just about water, hasn't it?
it's about those divine encounters,
Personal purpose.
spiritual growth.
But it's also a call to action.
Dig deep
Find those unique gifts.
and share them.
Exactly.
Well, I'm feeling inspired and challenged, honestly.
Good.
There's so much potential waiting to be discovered.
Within each of us.
And we've got the tools, the guidance to find it.
To tap into that blessing, let it flow out.
This has been fascinating. Thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
And remember, keep digging. You never know what you'll find.